Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the ThePCelitist. My name is Woodsie.
My name is Shepherd.
And this discussion actually came about while we were...
30 seconds ago.
30 seconds
if
ago.
not less.
We were trying to flush out an entirely different discussion about gameplay types. And because me and Shepherd actually talk to each other outside of this channel.
We do. But we frequently do not discuss these topics beforehand.
Right.
If we do, it's very rudimentary. We don't really, because we like to surprise. We like to get the authentic reaction where I want him to react just as I want you all to react. Kind of, you're hearing it for the first time.
Right. So usually we'll just, I have a subject. It's about X, so you get you into the frame of mind, and then we just go.
Yeah. Unless it's an article written by someone stupid,
right?
Like Blake Snow from CNN.
Right. Unless it requires a little bit of homework.
Yeah.
By the other person. But usually it's just, hey, what do you think about X? So we were talking about game types we haven't really played,
game ideas
and genres we haven't really been tried, and can we flush them out till it's an actual game. You brought up that you would want to see a game about espionage, whether it be corporate or political.
And I think that there's been espionage, there have been stealth action games that kind of focus on this spy versus counter spy kind of thing. So espionage has been done.
Right.
But I don't really feel like political or corporate espionage has been done, be it single player or multiplayer. And the question I was really asking myself was, how do I kind of present these two ideas to Woodsie, to the community, and present them in such a way as to say, can this be done? How can it be done? And I wasn't planning on saying anything to Woodsie. I was going to surprise him in the discussion we were going to do. But I decided that maybe if I got his feedback, he'd at least be able to, bounce back some ideas. And as soon as we started talking, I think that both of us realized that it should be a discussion on its own, where we were both headed, because he said it can't be done, and here's why, and I finished his sentence, and we both were thinking the same thing. So I basically said, a game about basically espionage. And Woodsie, I'll let you say your response in its entirety.
Okay. So I said that it can't be done because if it's a game...
It can't be done well.
It can't be done well. Because if the focus of the game is espionage, then everyone's always focused on it. Like we were talking about a game about spies, where you're all spies and you're trying to steal information. Well, there has to be a result of stealing that information for you to want to steal it, right? Besides just points or something like that. And then it would be lame if every player is just looking for the other spy. So you need a war, so you need something else going on. Then we started talking about EVE Online, about that guy who
ran the lending company,
right?
And took everyone's money, bought a huge mega ship, and went into space.
Right. So I said it would never work, espionage,
because everyone expects it to happen all the time.
Right. If everyone expects it to happen all the time, then it's not fun because everyone's expecting it. If you make it an open world where no one expects it, people like you and I would sit back and go, should we steal all this money and make our own fleet of ships? No, I can't do that to other people. It would be too nice.
Yeah. There are good people around the world, other PC gamers, and they're playing games on a Friday night just like I am, and I don't want them to rampage quit and throw their keyboard against the wall because someone just ripped them off.
So if the problem arises if you make it too much of a closed system, it's not fun because it's not really espionage because everyone knows you're doing it. If you make it too open a system, good people won't do it, won't involve themselves in it.
Only the assholes will do it. And we already have too many games where only the assholes do certain things, such as Bunny Hop, such as Camp, such as Dolphin Dive.
Right, so, I mean, the only way I could see an espionage type of thing working is like a Battlefield or like a PlanetSide 2 thing where you have a spy class where it helps you that a guy is gathering information for your team. But even then it's expected to a certain extent.
That's true, but here's then to go back to one of my original points. Does that mean it can't really be done well as a multiplayer game?
I think so.
Would it then have to be done as a single player?
I think, yes. I think it can only be done as a single player. I think once you put in a multiplayer frame, like we brought up, both at the same time, brought up the example Ruse.
And Ruse was a very highly rated game. I played it in the beta like 2 years ago or something like that. The beta came out well before the full release.
Right.
And you came over and watched me play, and basically the question you thought of a question almost as soon as I explained the game to you.
Yeah.
And it was, so is everyone just rusing all the time?
And at which point we started a thing that we always say, you're really good at golf. Ruse, you're terrible.
Yeah.
But,
we don't use JK. We use ruse.
So, yeah, which turned me off to the game. Mm-hmm. Because you could do things in, like, StarCraft. It's an RTS. You could trick them. One of the greatest ruses I've ever saw in StarCraft, if I could quickly recreate this situation, I was watching two pros play, and pros are so good when they scout your base, they count your workers quickly, so they could see basically how much money you've been spending, mm-hmm. and then they could plan an attack accordingly, right? So this Zerg guy, he created an expansion. I think it was a Zerg guy. He created his expansion, and before the guy scouted him, he moved all of his drones to the expansion, right? So when the guy showed up to see it, he saw all the drones of the expansion and figured this guy's been droning like crazy because even his expansion is saturated with drones. Mm-hmm. So he thinks, I'm going to attack early, and meanwhile the guy's building up a bunch of Zerglings. Perfect ruse, right? I totally tricked you. But that's not the point of the game.
If it's possible but not expected, it's fun.
Exactly.
I think that's brilliant.
That was the perfect way to just,
love it.
Point that.
So I guess my question then, as far as single-player games go, has anyone out there come across a game that is a single-player game that is about corporate or political espionage, or an espionage of another type? Because I couldn't really think of any offhand.
I have one for you.
What's that?
I'm pulling this out of the annals of PC history.
What's that?
And if anyone knows how to find it, Spycraft.
Spycraft, you say?
Yes. It's about you're an investigator, and a political assassination occurs, and you figure out who did it, basically. It's basically a mystery. Mm-hmm. And you're doing things, and there's multiple endings, multiple ways to get there. You're doing things from torturing a member of like the CIA who you think knows something, to faking your identity into like places you shouldn't be, recording people over the phone. It's all just sneaking, that kind of thing. It was an excellent game. It was done really well. It was all done with like live actors too.
Oh, nice.
So it was pretty fun. And it's the only game of its kind that I know of. So it was pretty good. You should play Spycraft.
I will. So for the rest of you, what are your thoughts? Do you think that an espionage game can be done as multiplayer? Do you agree with what was your response as to that? If you do, tell us what you think. If you have anything else to contribute. If you don't, we would certainly love to hear it, because we think it's pretty compelling that it would be very difficult to do well, and that basically what you'd have is, we've learned from playing games long enough, particularly with PC games, there are a bunch of people out there who will always be the lowest common denominator of the gaming community. They can always be relied upon, or as they say, they never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity to be assholes.
You're right.
No. What do you think? As always, let us know.
My name is Woodsie.
My name is Shepherd. We are the PC Elitists, and we're signing out.